What's up, world? It's Monday, March 12th, 2018. I'm here at yournewswire.com. As you can see, the title is Seattle Police Begin Gun Confiscations. No warrants, no laws broken, no due process. This article was posted on March 7th. There's also a zerohedge.com article identical to this one. I'll just go ahead and read this one. A man in Seattle has had his gun confiscated by police without due process after breaking no laws. The police took his gun without a warrant and without pressing any charges. Tyranny has officially taken hold on American soil. This sets a precedent that government can now forcefully take guns away from an individual without a crime being committed or an arrest being made and without a warrant. In the name of fear and political exploitation of anti-gun rhetoric, a citizen's Second Amendment rights have been ripped away from him by the government. The new red flag law, which has taken hold in other states already, allows the courts and law enforcement to take away guns from individuals they deem are dangerous, and they've just begun the confiscation. A man living in the Belltown neighborhood of Seattle, Washington, became the first individual in the state to have his firearm confiscated without any formal arrest or charges. The man was not identified by authorities. Shit hits the fan reports. And I'll leave a link for this article as well. They are all three generally the same. Neighbors complained that the man had been staring at people through storefront windows while wearing a holstered firearm. He was not brandishing his weapon by any account, and open carrying is illegal in the area, so he was abiding by the law. Other residents also complained that the man's open carrying made them feel uncomfortable and unsafe. He was roaming the hallways with a .25 caliber automatic, said Tony Montana. Yes, that's right, Tony Montana, a man who lives in the same apartment complex as the gun owner and a person without any reasonable gun knowledge. Handguns are semi-automatic. These lousy complaints from neighbors allowed police to use the newly passed state law to confiscate the man's firearm because the man apparently stared at others. Maybe there's a ban on staring at others in Washington we are unaware of. Under the Extreme Risk Protection Orders, also referred to as ERPOs or red flag laws, police, government officials are now allowed to violate a person's Second and Fourth Amendment rights, which are basic fundamental human rights, and take their legally acquired personal property if they are tattled on by offended liberals. Tyranny has now taken hold on American soil. So pretty interesting article here if no one has heard of this yet. I want to go to a more recent article posted at yournewswire.com. This posted yesterday, March 11th. Georgia's safest town requires citizens to own a gun. So we're going from one corner of the country to the other. A town in Georgia has solved America's gun crime problem by legally requiring all citizens to own and carry a gun. The Kennesaw, Georgia law states that every head of household residing in the city limits is required to maintain a firearm. Those not familiar with Kennesaw, Georgia, it's just north of Atlanta. DailyCaller.com reports it was meant to be kind of a crime deterrent. Kennesaw Police Lieutenant Craig Graydon, a 30-year law enforcement veteran, told CNN. It was also more or less a political statement because the city of Morton Grove, Illinois, passed a city ordinance banning handguns from their city limits. As for would-be criminals looking for an easy mark, judging by the crime statistics, it seems most have bypassed the Georgia town and moved on to easier targets. Even CNN was forced to admit that Kennesaw, populated by 33,000 people, has only had one murder in the last 6 years and a violent crime rate of below 2%. So we don't know how accurate those numbers are, but 2% is a very low crime rate. But, writes CNN, it's unclear whether that has anything to do with the gun law. Kennesaw's mayor sees it differently. If you're going to commit a crime in Kennesaw and you are the criminal, are you going to take a chance that the homeowner is a law-abiding citizen? Asked Mayor Derek Easterling. It gives me the ability to protect myself as opposed to being somewhere where you aren't allowed to have a firearm or it was frowned upon, said Wayne Arnold, a local resident who is a fan of the law. With the gun issue being in the spotlight of late, town officials have been getting plenty of attention from all over the world about their law. We get a lot of calls, conversation, and it seems to keep crime control, gun safety, things like that on the minds of many of the residents because people are constantly talking about the gun law. Lieutenant Graydon told CNN that's been somewhat of a benefit to us. Arnold noted the expectation of a Wild West environment with everyone walking around with a firearm strapped to their side. And it's not like that, said Arnold. It's strictly a home defense system type of deal. There's no shootouts down the street, and a lot less crime than your average American city. So, from one extreme to the other, in Seattle we have a man having his gun confiscated for peeping into a window in a store. And then we have in Kennesaw, on the other side of the country, a town requiring all heads of household to own a firearm. So very interesting what's going on here with the gun laws. I would love to hear your comments and opinions. Please leave them below. Take care. God bless.